How's it going, guys? Welcome back into another video, and today is a video that I am very excited that I'm finally making. So, you saw yesterday I did my review of episode 1 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and today, ooh boy, today we are talking spoilers. Today is my spoiler review of episode 1 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Before we get into any of that, I just want to say, let me know down below in the comments, what did you think of the first episode? What were your favorite parts? What did you like? What did you not like? Let me know down below. But we're just going to kind of get into it. We're going to talk about all of the stuff that I didn't get to talk about yesterday. And like I said, spoiler warning. This is a spoiler review. We are going all in on this. And I think without further ado, let's just kind of get into it. The first thing I want to really talk about here is, well, it's the action. I mean, the action's great. We've got that piece that we saw in the trailers where Falcon is chasing the wingsuit guys. We've got one of our villains back from the Winter Soldier, Captain America the Winter Soldier, and the choreography of that is just absolutely fantastic. I mean, we've gotten a lot of choreography of like Iron Man fighting in the air. We haven't really seen a lot of Sam, and not only him flying, but him fighting. I mean, he gets into that cargo plane and is just kicking people's butts. I love to see the different abilities with his wings. I love one of my favorite parts of the trailers, and it's in this sequence as well, is when he collapses his wings and he does a few barrel rolls, like through some debris, and then the wings come back out and he keeps going. Absolutely flawless. Content I didn't think I needed. And Marvel action is great, and this action, Winter Soldier-esque type of espionage action, is just it's Marvel at its finest, and they absolutely killed it here. That was the one really big action scene we got. We got another one involving a new character. I don't even remember his name. We will as time goes on, but him fighting some of those terrorist guys and just getting his just getting whooped. But that's kind of all the action that we really got in this episode, and that's fine, because the next part I want to talk about is the part that I like so much about this episode. It's the fact that we are learning about these characters. We are seeing the fallout of what happened in Endgame, what happened throughout their lives. And for Bucky, we are seeing the fallout of being the Winter Soldier. Bucky's arc is going to be my favorite arc throughout this entire show. Watching him just cope and try to figure out what is going on in his life, because Captain America got that. After he joined the Avengers, he got some time to, like, you know, figure out what this world is, what's going on. Bucky never got that. He didn't. He never got that. He went right into being the Winter Soldier, then he went into cryosleep, and then he says this in the episode. In Wakanda, I had a little bit of calm. Just a little bit. But then he was just going from fight to fight. And then he got dusted, and now he's back. He hasn't really had time to like adapt to the outside world, and that's the dynamic that I think is going to be the most interesting, the most intriguing, and the part that I enjoyed the most in this episode was just seeing how he was reacting to the outside world and how he's making amends. I mean, that's one of the most crucial parts of this episode, is we learn that Bucky got pardoned, which means the president or somebody in the government pardoned him so that he wasn't going to be arrested for what he did as the Winter Soldier. But part of his pardon is he has to go down a list and make amends with people that he's wronged when he was the Winter Soldier. And I love that, because we get to see people in his past that we never saw. We get to see Bucky going through these trials and tribulations in his mind, you know, with grief and with sorrow and with, you know, just sadness, because he couldn't control what he was doing when he was the Winter Soldier, and he has to deal with that head on in this series, and I love that. And I mean, the arc with him and I believe his name's Yuri, the older man, that is the most heartbreaking just moment and scene in the episode, because we start off Bucky's arc with a flashback when he was the Winter Soldier, and when, you know, he eliminates just a bystander. You know, wrong place, wrong time is literally what was said in this episode. And seeing that now Bucky is spending a bunch of time with Yuri, I believe is his name, and if I'm butchering it, I'm sorry. But to find out that that was his son, and he's like spending that time with him as a way to build amends. And that that hurt. It really hurt. And for that, in this type of story, in this type of TV show, the writing is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And like I said, Bucky's arc is going to be probably the best arc of this entire show, even though the arcs are competing pretty well. But Bucky's arc of just, trying to come to acceptance, trying to make amends for what he's done is fascinating. And bravo. The rest of the episodes could be crap, but this episode, the writing in this episode is absolutely phenomenal. And I don't expect the writing to be crap. I think it's really good just based off of this first episode. But then we move on to Sam, and he's got another fascinating arc because it's really personal. We're getting into his family life, his personal life. We meet his sister, we meet his nephews. We see the trials and tribulations that they're going through. And, even though Falcon is this hero, he still has issues. He's trying to get a loan for his sister, to help with the boat that they don't want to sell. That's their family legacy, and they can't. And it really is humbling because, we see these heroes as gods, as people that can do no wrong, as people that are, above everything else. But in reality, they aren't. And the scene in the bank is one of the most heartbreaking scenes because the banker's like, hey, can I get a picture with you? But then he's like, I'm sorry, I can't give you this loan. It's just absolutely heartbreaking, heart-shattering, just incredible writing, I might add. The writing of this episode is probably the strongest part because it's very humanizing. We are humanizing these people that we revere as gods. And that part of this is why I think this series is going to be so good. And it's going to deal with hard issues. Something I read somewhere that I believe one of the writers, or I think even Anthony Mackie said that, this is going to delve deep into racism and, being black in America, and do people want a black Captain America? Those themes are so, just ingrained in everyone today. I'm very interested to see where they go with that because I think that can be one of the more interesting, intriguing parts of this series. Because it is something to think about because America does not have a good track record right now. And I would be very interested to see how they handle that because that's a very touchy, very hard subject to cover. But knowing the writing team and knowing the people involved, I think they may actually do a really, really good job with it. But of course, the last major thing we got to talk about, because we've kind of covered everything that happened. A lot of what happened in this episode is a lot of background. We're learning about where the characters have been. We're learning about what's going on. And then we get some of those character moments. We see that Bucky's in therapy. We see that Sam is going and trying to help his sister and his nephews. And then we get the two big action. We get the two action scenes. The first. There are two more points I want to make. The first one is I like kind of the setting up of the villain. We're seeing where that's going. This terrorist organization. We're getting some background. Not too much, which is fine. It is the premiere episode, so there's some catching up we got to do. But it looks intriguing. It looks interesting. We did not see Zemo at all in this episode. I am very much looking forward to seeing how Zemo comes into play. We didn't see Agent 13 either. I think she's going to come in, maybe around halfway through the season. But we haven't seen Zemo at all. And his character, I will still die on the hill that I think his villain is one of the most intriguing and best villains in the MCU. I truly believe that. I will die on that hill. And I'm ready to have him enter into this story and see what kind of mischief he is playing. But he has not showed up yet. Hoping maybe in the next episode or the episode after we will finally get him in here. But the last thing I want to talk about, we got to talk about the cliffhanger. So in the beginning of the episode, first off, not a funeral for Captain America. I know everyone was saying wear black, Captain America funeral, blah blah blah. Yes, cool. No funeral. All it was doing was commemorating Captain America and the Smithsonian, and Sam hands over the shield. He doesn't want to take up the mantle. It doesn't feel right. He says that shield belongs to Steve. It does not belong to me. That's a character dynamic and a character arc that I think is going to be very intriguing all throughout this series. I'm very interested to see when he does decide to actually take up the mantle. It may not be until the very end, and when that happens, I'm going to be very happy because I think he is a great choice to be the next Captain America, but he gives up the shield, and he thinks It's going to be in the Smithsonian. It's going to be on display. We even get a cameo from War Machine. Don Cheadle is in here as well, asking what the audience is asking. Why'd you not take up the mantle? You know, and it's a very powerful scene. Some of the cinematography is great. I mean, we saw the shot of Sam's reflection with the shield. That's some kick-ass cinematography. I'm sorry, I just got to say it. But then we get the finale. We get the finale of the episode, the big cliffhanger. No, the shield was not just being put in the Smithsonian. They were bringing in a new Captain America. I believe his name is U.S. Agent, I believe is what his name is. And that was a cliffhanger. We get Sam's reaction to like, oh my god, I can't believe they're doing this. And we get introduced to U.S. Agent. The man looks scummy. He does not look cool. He does not look like a guy that I would trust with that shield. That is a dynamic that I'm really interested to see. And like I said, I think that some of the issues of racism are going to play a part in this. I think some of the issues of, you know, worthiness are going to play a part in this. And, you know, I think Sam is worthy. I mean, Captain America himself literally said, "It is yours." If that doesn't say worthy, I don't know what does. But all the arcs in this series are so intriguing to me, and I'm so interested to see what they bring and how they continue. That this premiere episode was just perfect. I just to start off a series, this is what you needed. I don't want to fully compare this to WandaVision because they are two very, very different projects. But if I had to, this is where WandaVision lacked. The first 2 episodes of WandaVision are cool. They're the sitcom episodes. We don't really know anything. But that's the problem, is we don't know anything. The first 2 episodes are just, you know, fun filler episodes, which is cool. Falcon and Winter Soldier, you've got 6 episodes. They're each about an hour each. You gotta cut to the chase. And that's what they did. And that was perfect. I really believe the pacing in this is going to be so much better just based off of this first episode. And I'm just so incredibly excited to see where they go next. But guys, again, let me know down below in the comments, what did you think? What did you think of the first episode? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know about any of the points that I covered here today. Make sure you go check out my website, FinaticFilmReview.com. You can find movie reviews, rankings. I'm going to be doing series reviews, episode reviews for Falcon and the Winter Soldier over there, so make sure you go check that out. Also, go over to Music City Drive-In. That is a website that I am a film contributor on. I've been doing a bunch of South by Southwest content over there, been doing recaps, full-length reviews. Go over there and check them out. Absolutely awesome. And I would not have the opportunities that I do to review stuff early if it was not for them. Also, go over to my Twitter and my Letterboxd to get immediate reactions to movies that I watch in 2021. I'm not doing any Falcon and Winter Soldier reviews over there until the series is over. It's like I said with WandaVision, I am going to treat them like long-form movies, but go over there to get the reactions to all the other movies I see throughout 2021. And the last thing I got to say is, if you enjoyed any of the content at all, please consider subscribing. If you want more content like this, Blu-ray content, festival content, reviews, rankings, we got it all over here. If you want more of that great stuff, make sure you subscribe. Trying to get 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It is a bit of a lofty goal, but I think we can do it. And guys, that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video.